In my dreams, I walk free in the city streets. 2,500 days plus 50 weeks. Doing hard time for these WikiLeaks. Trying to bring the truth out, man, it only gets you heat. And then they gag you, you don't get to speak. And when you get the leak, they try to hit delete. The masters of the masses, they want the shit discreet. That's why my middle finger's up to these sick elites. Free speech, it's the freedom of press. Take your deepest, darkest secrets, never leave them unsaid. If I'm a thief, then I'm a thief for the people you dread. The people of the red, white and blue, you keep them in bed. Seeing the sheep, keep them asleep, deceiving the weak. Keep seeking the leaks till you cease, and I see your defeat. Until I'm deceased underneath a freezing red sheet. Become a dead man, then I hit the switch and release. When Goldman Sachs is your creditor, you kill the messenger. Stories axed by the editor, you kill the messenger. Pay to play on the regular, you kill the messenger. Need to silence any questioners, you kill the messenger. And outside my window a figure quickly creeps. They dark as night like some motherfucking chimney sweeps. Whiskey with my Mickey keeps dying in my kidneys weak. Silence of my risky tweets is what the grand jury seeks. I'm wanting peace like 7 years in Tibet. Now rest in peace like 7 years under threat. Cause I've released 7 vaults, they upset. They ended the rape sentence, but the US still insists to rest. I guess it's a sin to take the truth and disseminate. MLK to Gandhi, take aim and eliminate. And I don't say I'm great, just wanna say what's fake. But if they kill me, a million others will take my place. The CIA's post like a knife the sharpest. All hypocrisy, lies, and heartless. They want to stop me, my life make my heart quit. Cause democracy dies in the darkness. When Goldman Sachs is your creditor, you kill the messenger. Stories axed by the editor, you kill the messenger. Pay to play on the regular, you kill the messenger. Need to silence any questioners, you kill the messenger. When the vote count is irregular, you kill the messenger. You caught spying on a senator, you kill the messenger. Removing voters from the register, you kill the messenger. Need to silence any questioners, you kill the messenger.
Kill the messenger. Kill the messenger. Kill the messenger.
In my dreams, I walk free in the city streets. 2,500 days plus 50 weeks. Doing hard time for these WikiLeaks. Trying to bring the truth out, man, it only gets you heat. And then they gag you, you don't get to speak. And when you get the leak, they try to hit delete. The masters of the masses, they want the shit discreet. That's why my middle finger's up to these sick elites. Playing on the regular,
You kill the messenger.
free speech is the freedom of press. Take your deepest, darkest secrets, never leave them unsaid. If I'm a thief, then I'm a thief for the people you dread. The people want the red, white and blue, you keep them in bed. Seeking the sheep, keep them asleep, deceiving the weak. Keep seeking the leaks till you cease, and I see your defeat. Until I'm deceased underneath a freezer red sheet. Become a dead man, then I hit the switch and release. When Goldman Sachs is your creditor,
Kill the messenger.
a figure quickly creeps. They dark as night like some motherfucking chimney sweeps. Whiskey what my Mickey keeps, dying in my kidneys weak. Silence of my risky tweets is what the grand jury seeks. I'm wanting peace, like 7 years in Tibet. Now rest in peace, like 7 years under threat. Cause I've released 7 vaults, they upset, they ended the rape sentence. But the US still insists arrest. I guess it's a sin to take the truth and disseminate. And I'll pay the Gandhi, take him and eliminate. And I don't say I'm great, just wanna say what's fake. But if they kill me, a million others will take my place. The CIA's post like a knife the sharpest. All hypocrisy, lies, and heartless. They want to stop me, my life make my heart quit. Cause democracy dies in the darkness. Cause democracy dies in the darkness. You kill the messenger. You kill the messenger. Democracy dies in the darkness.
Feeling cold now, I got the heater on. Feeling sold out, even though I'm keeping strong. But can I hold out when every bit of freedom's gone? They want me rolled out, never to sing freedom song. I wanna see the sky, I wanna feel the rain. But gotta keep away from windows, that's some window pane. It's just a shame, couldn't have planned out all our dreams. Now I scream, cause there's a man in the machine. But the train is off the tracks, and damn it's losing steam. I wanna call Christine, haven't seen since 013. I'm missing life like 3 strikes each night. Seems like 3 nights ain't right. Can't fight, space light, hate life. Wanting to be snake like, shutting off this gray life. In the dark can't make light. But where I'm headed now is brake lights. Where I'm headed now they break lights. Counting days like brake lights. Feeling weight like brake lights. Had a great life. Brake lights. Brake lights, brake lights. Out of place like brake lights. In my face like brake lights. Counting days like brake lights, brake lights, brake lights. Sit here asking, what have I done? If these strings were cut, I'd see my son. And if I could just fly from this place, then I'd hold you in my love embrace. And if I could just speak to you now, I'd renew my vow and be in the now. Is this me in the now? Wanna remove stress from your brow and pay you back some way, somehow. But it's painted black, can see the way back now. But how's the house and how's your mom? I doubt the way the media portrays me makes you hate me. But to think you see that daily makes me crazy, that just ain't me.
This is without a doubt going to be this generation's free Mandela movement. Every single generation must fight again the same battles that previous generations have fought.
Brake lights, counting days like brake lights, 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 brake lights.
and supporting Julian Assange and saying he deserves safe passage to a safe country. So politicians have been very quiet about Julian Assange, and now we have 36 speaking out. And the news since then is 2 of them have announced that they're showing up in London at the Ecuadorian embassy where Julian is tomorrow. So Thursday at 1:30 p.m. they're giving a statement at the embassy. They're going to visit Julian inside the embassy. I believe they've been given permission to visit him, which very few people have. So, wow, that's going to be a great event. And then, as I understand it, at 3 p.m., they're also holding a press conference. So it's going to be very interesting how quiet the legacy press can stay on this very newsworthy event of MPs coming to London and saying, how come the world's most important publisher has been arbitrarily detained for 8 years in the heart of Europe, in London, with the UN calling it arbitrary detainment. How can that be? And MPs are starting to talk about it, and so that's really going to change things. So have I mentioned everyone? So Kathy, Christy, and Jose, and Kitty. Oh, sorry, Kitty. Kitty is a participant, and also she's doing all the tech stuff from her screen. She does everything. They can hear you, right, Kitty? we had that was one of the issues because, oh, Kitty, I'm not recording this yet. I need to record this, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm starting the recording now. Kathy stepped out for a cup of coffee. She'll be back soon. But so we'll go to you, Jose, if that's all right. Jose?
Yes. I was going do you know if the new Ecuadorian ambassador has already come to the building, the embassy building?
Yes, I believe he has.
Oh, I see. So he's coming normally to work at the embassy.
Yes. With instructions, I think, from Moreno. I don't know if that's all bluff or anything, but with instructions to, I don't know, what did Lena Moreno say? He knows very well what he has to do or something like that. It sounds like a bluff to me, but
you should show Jose the
well, you know, the
tweet that we were looking at last week.
Well, he's coming to reestablish, you know, Ecuador-UK relations, you know, commercial and political relations.
Yes.
Because according to the new ambassador, their relations have been damaged because of Assange. And yes, so, you know, that's they're using Assange as a scapegoat, you know,
yes, for
their own failure. Because Lenin Moreno. Yeah, because Lenin Moreno has shown that he is a complete failure, you know, and he is good at blaming everybody else except himself.
Yes.
So the one example of that is the gas increase that he just announced last night. He blamed it on Korea. Yes, he blamed it on Korea.
So you do you all have piped gas to your houses? When you say gas, you mean petrol? You mean
the gasoline, you know, for the cars?
Yes.
The gasoline prices. Yes. It went from 148 to 185, I think it is.
So what is that in US dollars?
Well, if you figure the basic salary for employees in Ecuador is close to $400 with all the benefits. So
Really?
that's a big and that increase in the gasoline price is going to increase the prices on consumer goods for sure. So that worker, Ecuadorian worker, is going to be suffering because if before he had problems, family man had problems, getting food on the table. Now it's going to be worse. And Lenín Moreno had a secret meeting. I think it was this morning with the drivers' union of Ecuador.
Yes.
So that they would not go in on a strike, on a general strike throughout the country.
Yes.
So, and just about an hour ago, they made an announcement that they're going to give $50 to every taxi cab that is registered. So, he's giving them $50 so that they will not strike. That's what he's doing.
When you say dollars, Jose,
I tweeted about it on Unity for J, and there is a video. And in fact, the guy who announced this $50 gift is the _1 U.S. man in Lenín Moreno's government. He's the most influential guy in his government. He's calling all the shots, basically. For Lenín Moreno. So
is he the vice president?
No, he was appointed about a month after Manafort came to Ecuador.
Oh, and what is his official role?
He is an advisor. That's what his role is. An advisor for Lenín Moreno. But actually, I call him the economic hitman.
Yes.
He came to grab all the, all the people's property and sell it to foreign investors.
Yeah.
And so that's his main objective, and also make all the changes to the government, to destroy all the work that Rafael Correa made during more than 10 years. It's all been destroyed, on a daily basis. So he uses a lot of this, he secretly makes all these executive decrees, behind the scandals that they create, for example, the video, the recording, sound recording that came out about 2 days ago about his meeting, secret meeting of national security of Ecuador, about at the time when the 3 journalists were kidnapped by Colombian armed group.
That's right.
So I put that video on Unity for J. The 3 journalists are pleading on the video. They are pleading. They are saying, "Mr. President, save us.
Yes.
Accept the prisoner exchange, but please save us." They kept saying that.
Yes.
"Please, Mr. President, save us." So the recording says that basically their recording says that they are expendable, that they are not worth the dignity of his government.
Yes.
He says that. I translated the text of the recording, and basically that's what he says. So he lied to the Ecuadorian people, but the press, nothing on this recording, nothing.
Yeah.
well, you've seen what the first page pictures of newspaper media here is. It's just nothing.
Yes.
They cover nothing.
So you're a regular panelist on here, and it's a constant theme that your news media is just terrible. And the good channels, the good TV channels, they're shutting them down, aren't they?
Yes, they shut down RT, Telesur, Hispan TV, and another local channel. RT came back this week.
Oh.
I think it's because Russia is one of the biggest buyers of Ecuadorian flowers.
Oh.
Yes, they are one of the biggest buyers of Ecuadorian flowers. So I think they twisted Lenin's arms that way. So he had no choice but to put it back.
Yes.
That's how it boils down to, interests.
Yes.
So this new ambassador, I mean, he means business, and I do not know what is the quantity of money that we are talking about if Ecuador opens the markets to the UK, because this coincides with the Brexit that the UK is going through. So the UK will be free to make free trade agreements with other countries outside of the European Union. So this agreement, is worth a lot of money.
Yes.
So this ambassador is basically, saying, I'll give you Assange, and you give me, the trade that is worth so much. That's how I see it.
Yes.
Because he says in his first interview very clearly, and they have been repeating, news media and even international media have been repeating the same things that he said in the first interview, that he's coming to solve Assange problem and to improve relations, commercial relations with the UK.
Oh,
so we are talking about a big amount of money. So these are big interests,
Yes.
So coming from a right-wing guy, that he means business. I don't know what he's going to do, or he's going to do some kind of a surprise thing,
Yes.
So that's why the vigil is very important at the embassy.
Yes.
And I wish I could be there,
Yes.
Too far for me.
As you speak about vigil at the embassy, Jose, Angel Fox has just joined us from the embassy. So, hi, Angel. She might be setting up. I don't know if...
Hey, guys. How are you?
Hi.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Yes, I'm here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see me because I don't have my headset. So.
Yes, we can sort of see you, Angel. More the side of your face, actually. But oh, hello. There you are. What time is it now for you? It's like
here I am.
Early in the morning.
It's 1 a.m. It's 1 a.m. in the morning. I'm watching. I'm doing my watch.
Yes. So yeah. Sorry to interrupt the conversation, Jose. But
it's been quite busy here lately, I guess.
Yes, but quiet by now, eh?
Yes.
And so just to give everyone the background, you arrived in London.
Right now, we get a lot of.
We're having a little bit of trouble hearing you.
if I can move here. Is that any better?
Maybe the sound's good.
Everything here, but has been busy. They have a staying for Christmas up in the building the embassy's in, so we've had a lot of security around, and Harrods is doing some construction vehicles.
Yes. And what is the temperature like and the weather at the moment? Oh, so we can sort of see.
It's been in the 40s, but the cold here is different.
Yes.
The cold here is quite a bit different.
Is it damp?
Here is different than it is in the States, and that it's really wet. So 40.
You're cutting in and out, Angel. Oh, that's a good picture.
Are you able to understand?
Yeah, stop moving around. Just hold it in the one place and talk, because we can hear you all right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
No, it's been quite cold. I have a blanket and I have some warm clothes, but my hands and feet get pretty cold at night.
Yes, I can imagine. Didn't someone say that was a gift to you, a beautiful blanket? Somebody gave that to you?
Yes, and a neighbor lady actually did. She's probably in her 20s. She's from Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
And she comes out and talks and brings food. And she's seen I was cold, so she brought me a very warm blanket to wrap up in.
Oh, that's lovely.
So yes, it was very wonderful.
Are you aware of what's happening in the morning for you? So at 1:30, there's two members of the European Parliament going to see Julian and then making an announcement outside.
Yes, and I'm going to try to stay here. I may sleep where Kieran sleeps, so he can wake me up so I can be up for it.
Right. I hope that's indoors. You're not sleeping on the street, are you?
Yes.
I'm staying at a hostel, but tomorrow I may sleep where Kieran's sleeping. He's got a makeshift shelter made out of cardboard. And I may sleep there so that I can be here for when they make the announcement so I can record it.
Right. Well, yeah, because you're doing night shift. Yeah. So
yes, I sleep during the day. So I don't get to attend a lot of the vigils that they have here because by the time I get back to my hostel, it's 9:30, 10 o'clock. And then I try to wake up by 5. And when I get up at 5 o'clock, I try to make it here as quickly as possible.
Yes, it's wonderful what you're doing, Angel. I mean, the amount of dedication to do that.
Yes, I take walks every night to make sure everything's safe, and I keep an eye to make sure that Kieran stays covered up.
Yes.
So he doesn't get cold. And,
that's wonderful.
Yes, and this is just a big part of. I'm just being a part of a bigger thing. I really want to see Julian free, and I want to make sure he's safe, and that's why I'm here.
Yes. Yes, you're doing a large part. Because before you came, Kieran was really overburdened, wasn't he? I mean, he's still working very hard, but he was doing like 20 hours out of 24. And now you're doing, did you say you're doing like 12 to 14 hour shifts?
Yes, I get here about between 6 o'clock, somewhere around there, and then I stay until about 8 o'clock in the morning. And so this morning it was closer to 9 when I left. I try to make sure that I get something to eat and that I take a shower, and then I come down here, and that's what I'm here for. I'm not here as a tourist. I'm here to watch over Julian and to help Kieran.
Yes. Oh, I mean, that's wonderful. That's wonderful dedication. Just for people who aren't totally familiar, you're from the US, I think Ohio, right?
And yes, I'm from Michigan. I'm from Michigan.
I got that wrong. I got that wrong last time too. Yes, you're from Michigan, and you took time off from your job or quit your job as a machinist, and you raised money on a GoFundMe type thing.
Yes.
You've always been a huge supporter of Julian, particularly on Twitter, online, and you raised all the money to come over to London.
I write articles about what's going on with them and try to keep people informed and educated on what's happening.
Yes. And now you're an important part. There are other people helping out in lots of ways, big and small, aren't there?
Yes. Yes, there are. There's the Catholic workers come down and help, and then there's the vigilers and there's people just by donating and to WikiLeaks are a great help. People just doing one simple thing, they don't think they're making a difference, but they are. It's like a drop of water in a lake. It ripples, and soon you have a wave.
Yes.
And one person can make a difference.
Yes.
Angel,
carry on, Christy.
Yeah, so we were talking in the panelist chat. We can see the scaffolding behind you, and that's been there for maybe 2 months now. So I'm curious if you guys, do you see any work being done on the building or any progress or anything being done with that scaffolding that's been there for so long?
I know that they've done some painting, but I have not personally seen anybody working on it. There's paint on the cement below the scaffolding. It's been cold and raining, so maybe that's why, but I'm not here during the day much, so.
Yes.
Right.
Kieran would be able to help with that more than I would. At night, I don't see anything much, other than the police cars and a lot of surveillance vans.
Yes. So the police, last time you reported that the police were stopping and checking that you were all right?
Yes, they were. They pretty much quit. The night of the anniversary of the bombing at Harrods, there were more police here than I've ever seen. But I think they were making their presence known, so no one did what they did before.
Yes. What was the bombing for? I'm just not familiar with it. Do you happen to know?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I think it was in 1983, and I think quite a few people died and were injured. I believe it was, extremist bombing, as it usually is, and Harrods is very well known.
Yes.
For rich people and yes, as a center of commerce. So it would kind of be like when they bombed in New York, I believe they're making a statement.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it costs lives when they do it that way.
Yes. Yes.
But there were police here with actual guns, and the British police don't usually carry guns. Yes. So I kind of panicked when they first pulled off. I thought, oh no, they've come for Julian.
Yeah.
But no, they were. But they came down here. They came to Harrods and were patrolling down there. So, but my first reaction was bad.
Yes. I mean, there's not much you can do if armed police come out. But you record it, don't you? And you're a witness.
Yes. Yes, yeah. That's what I intend. If there's other people here, I want them to photograph, and I'm going to get on my knees if they take him out in protest of them removing him. If it's just me and Kieran will do that, and I will do the filming.
Yes.
If it happens. I'm praying and hoping it doesn't, but you have to prepare for the worst.
Yes. And I think you being there and them knowing that it's going to be filmed, that's a disincentive. That's a reason not to do it.
Yes. And I think it would make a very big statement if an American were to be on their knees protesting what they were doing. I really do. I would hope that the media would pick up on it, but I'm hoping I don't ever have to do that. That I think another reason I'm here is there was a attempted break-in, and there's only one security person here.
Yes.
And I think it deters people from trying to break in, knowing that there are people here, even just me sitting out front. So.
Yes.
I have some information about the Harrods bombing.
Yes.
I do remember it. It's a long time ago, and my recollection that it was the IRA.
Okay.
Yeah, it was about the Irish conflict. However, I've just been checking. Because memory doesn't always serve that well over such a long time. But apparently, the IRA they planted a time bomb, and then they gave a warning 37 minutes before it went off.
Yes.
But for some reason, the area was not evacuated. That's why there were casualties. Karen would be able to fill in a lot more details, of course, than I can, but that's just on first look, and that was on Wikipedia.
Kieran is an incredible source of information.
Right. Yeah. So a bit of a provocation not to clear the area. Maybe the warning wasn't taken seriously. Maybe they thought it was a hoax. But that's what I've just read. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, well, they're making, as I said, the police were making their presence known so that to deter anyone from doing the same.
Yes. Even though it was 35 years ago.
Well, things like that are remembered forever by people, I believe.
Yes. So last time, Angel, you were reporting on, you had a couple of incidents. There was somebody who approached you yelling and shouting at you. And there was also a lady who was snatching signs.
Yes, I haven't had anything like that happen again, but the mentally unstable woman, I think, has decided to make this her homeless home. And tonight she actually took a sign, so I gave her £2 to get the sign back.
Oh.
Hoping that she would, because the other night she was eating out of the garbage, and I want to make sure she's fed, so I've been trying to give her money when she takes signs to get her something to eat.
Oh.
It's a very sad situation, and I wish there was something more I could do, but sometimes she gets kind of combative with you, and I try to keep an eye on her when she's on the street to make sure she's all right.
But she's around a lot.
Yes, quite frequently. Tonight she was here, as I said, and I gave her £2 and told her to find some food. I don't know if she did or not. If I have food here, I give it to her, but I quite often I just go grab something to eat cheap somewhere like McDonald's and come back and I don't have anything left. So I've been trying to bring a candy bar or something as well to give to her, so she's not eating out of the trash.
Yes. Sometimes
she's very unresponsive too. Sometimes you can talk to her and she ignores you completely. Tonight she was yelling at me, and so I gave her the £2 and she gave me my sign back. But other than that, it's mostly been, you see police here, you see surveillance vans, you see, and we have this person staying here who has quite a bit of security right now. That's been them. And I guess the ambassador arrived this week. So.
Yes. So the police, they check up on you, and they said they're worried about your safety. Do you feel safe?
Yes, this is a very safe area. Mostly what you see here are drunks passing by on their way home from the pub. In the morning, it's people going to the Harrods warehouse, which is down the alley,
Yes.
next to the building. And you'll see people on their way to work. I have not felt unsafe since I've been here.
Yes.
There's security guards from Harrods who walk by about every hour too. So I've actually got to know them a little bit, where they stop and talk to me a little.
Oh, that's good.
Angel, Angel, do you ever see food being delivered for Julian?
Do I ever see
food? Are there, catering services? I mean, it's a mystery to all of us how Julian manages to get fed since he got isolated.
I have not seen anybody bring food into the embassy. I think his lawyers may. It is a mystery how he's getting his food. Perhaps I would hope that somebody's bringing him food. A possibility would be there's Amazon. You can send food to people. Maybe perhaps somebody's sending him food that way.
Well, I mean, they've got to be very, very careful.
Yes, exactly. That's why
totally monitored. But what's not a mystery is Stefania Marizzi saying that he'd got incredibly thin. So one would assume that he's either not being fed well enough, and we've heard, excuse me, we've heard from Jose Rivera that they closed the embassy down for a whole weekend when it was a national.
I honestly wish that they would allow me. I would bring him food every day, but I don't think they would allow that. They don't know me well enough, but I would be more than willing to bring food for him. It worries me too that he's not getting enough.
Well, that's right. And Pamela Anderson used to always bring him food, really good vegan food, I believe. But now that visitors aren't allowed in, trusted visitors, I mean, Marizzi had to wait 7 months, I think it was, to finally get permission to go in there. Even the lawyers can't get in sometimes. So one of the main concerns is that he is actually being fed. And of course it is.
I'm hoping that they're bringing him in things like canned food, stuff that he can store for when they can't get in. But I honestly, I have not seen anybody bring food in there. I haven't seen his lawyers go in, but during the times I've been here, I have not seen food go in that door for him.
Right. But I imagine we'll know a lot more in about 12 hours from now, maybe a little more, maybe about 15 hours time, because Heike Hensel and that's the person who coordinated the signatures of 36 European parliamentarians calling for Julian's immediate release. So Heike is coming today, and then there's another one called Seven Dagdalen, I think. So when they come out, they will speak to Julian directly, which is really good news. Then they will come out and do a report. I would really like to get an advanced question to them to find out if the man is being fed properly. I think that's something that needs careful consideration, because Julian's always been slim, but Stefania said that he was emaciated, even clearly emaciated under his winter jumper.
Well, and then there was that 4-day holiday where the lawyers weren't able to get in with food. So, he went 4 days without food for sure. And my understanding is that he's so thin that you can tell. So it's a worry. And I'm hoping like I said, if they'd allow me to bring in canned food or something, I would do it. But that is up to them, not me.
Well, obviously, I mean, if there was stored food in there, canned food, he could have eaten that. But obviously, no fresh food for 4 days because everybody had locked up and gone home. During that weekend, and I mean, it's hard to actually say because WikiLeaks said that the embassy is manned 24/7, so security staff must have been still around, but definitely, there was no one seen going in and out with fresh food.
No, I'm not here all day. I'm not here all day long. Yeah. But the times that I have been here during the day, I have never seen anything go in. So it is worrisome, and it would be nice. Hopefully, we hear more about it, so that we don't have to worry about that particular problem.
Yeah. But even living on baked beans for 4 days is not good.
Or even living on canned soup for 4 days isn't good.
Oh, no. And I know, from what people have said, Julian does like to eat, healthy food. You could see that his whole life. He was in good shape.
I know they're not even right now accepting gifts through the mail for him. It sounds like the only thing you can do for like Christmas is to send him a card. I don't think people have had their stuff returned that they've sent him. So
yes, Angel, you're very popular on the YouTube channel. I'll just read a couple of the comments. Simon King says hello. Propaganda, who's one of the regulars here. That's Quinn Peterson, who actually comes on some of the WikiBeats, says Angel is a trooper. And Stephanie Marsilia, who's also one of the regulars, agrees she is propaganda. And propaganda says, ha, now that is activism. Like you're really getting out there and getting it done, doing what has to be done, aren't you?
The most important thing is Julian, though. I'm here for him. I don't care about popularity. I want to see him taken care of, safe, and eventually free. Right now, the big thing is as long as he's in the embassy, he's safe.
Yes.
And we don't want to see the man extradited. That is my biggest fear, and it's what I've been fighting against all this time. And like I said, I don't care if I'm popular, but if I am popular, my message gets out further.
Yes. Well, you certainly are popular. Maima in India Panhandle says, Angel, you have a heart of gold, lady. And
I try.
On the other hand, Angel, are you getting a lot of trolls on Twitter at the moment?
I haven't seen many. I was for quite a while, but I'm not on Twitter as much as I normally am because I'm here and I'm trying to pay attention to what's going on around me. Whereas before I had all this time to sit on Twitter and pay attention. I haven't had much lately. It seems they've backed off. I have been attacked, however, by some people. But this is an ongoing thing, and I don't think it's going to stop.
Is it on? Oh, okay. Because you did a tweet. You did a tweet about it, but I don't know if you want to talk too much about the negative side of things.
No, it's not a big deal. It upset me for a moment, and then I move on because I know I'm going to be attacked. I'm trying to make a difference, and when you make a difference, people attack you.
Absolutely.
Angel, what's your drill? If, say, something happens in the middle of the night, a grab team suddenly arrives, how do you alert us all? How do you alert the world?
The first thing I'm going to do is I have a whistle to alert Kieran, and then if something were to happen, I'm going to get on my phone and videotape immediately while Kieran does what he's going to do. And then I'm going to send the video to WikiLeaks immediately and to people like Christine Assange and Bella Magnani, and hopefully they can get it out to the media. If I can, I would like to be able to get close enough to videotape exactly what's going on. I don't know how many police would be here, or that's basically our drill right now. If it's during the day, there will be more people here, and more people will be able to protest against them taking him.
Well, that's right. That's why that kind of thing is more likely to happen at night. And we do have images of 4 men, it appears, sitting in a car. That's right. And that's a number of years back. But you know, the thing is, you know, we're all taking Marchand so seriously, the new ambassador who's come to sort this out. And look, if you actually read very carefully what's being stated, they are still saying that Julian has to decide, because it's against their law. They can't actually throw him out. He's an Ecuadorian citizen. So they can wave their arms all they like and act like big boys and bullies and try to scare.
I'm not saying this is going to happen necessarily, but there are psyop ways to make his life miserable while he's in there.
Oh yes, that's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to make it, you know, as much like torture as possible.
Yes. If they wanted to, they could withhold food. They could withhold showers. They could. They were withholding his internet, his visitors, and his phones. They can do a lot of different things to make him very miserable, and that upsets me a great deal. I don't want to see that. He does not deserve it. He's not a criminal.
Well, I mean, it seems like they've been doing all of the above, maybe even the food. But the thing is that Julian is a very resilient person. And, you know, as Christine said, they will never break him. And it still does come down to Julian having to decide to walk out. It has to be his decision. It's just too big a political cost to expel an Ecuadorian.
Exactly. I've said that before, that if Lenin Moreno was to expel him, it would be political suicide, literally. I mean, he would be removed from office for violating their constitution. There's no doubt.
Well, there is doubt. I mean, if he has replaced all of the constitutional.
I don't.
All the judges are his men now. He owns the courts.
So against. Kicking him out would be so against international law, and there would be such an uprising over. I just don't see it happening. But we're hoping that they don't do anything to actually remove him.
Well, if it were just international law, which really doesn't have much clout with a lot of countries, as we know, I don't think Julian would still be there. We have Maria Fernanda Espinosa to thank in getting through his citizenship, Ecuadorian citizenship.
Yes.
It's because it's going to break Ecuadorian law that they can't throw him out. That's
right, exactly.
That's the real obstacle. So that's why there was a drive to revoke his citizenship to facilitate the eviction. I don't think they cared about international law at all. There's little consequence.
Yeah.
Jose.
Yeah, I agree.
Jose, do you have any comments?
Well, I wanted to say hello to my friend over there at the embassy. We have been communicating over text, and it is the first time that I see her live on TV. So now maybe I could recognize you anywhere. I thank you for being there at the embassy, and I wish I could be with you.
Yes, it's nice to finally talk to you, Jose.
Yes, it's always good to see you, and you are so courageous. And
thank you.
Ecuadorians, thank you a lot.
Yes, and I will try to keep everyone updated if I see anything, and I'll try to videotape tomorrow.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, fantastic. Your
You're
tweets
doing
are
a great work.
Sorry, Jose?
Yes. So, I wanted to add something. You got to remember how Lenín Moreno is treating Jorge Glass, his vice president.
Yes.
So, there is a correlation, between the treatment of Glass and the treatment of Assange.
Can you remind people, Jose, who Jorge Glass is and how he's being treated?
Well, yeah, Jorge Glass was, and Lenín Moreno went as candidates for the 2017 elections in Ecuador, and they won. And a few months later, Lenín Moreno jailed Vice President Glass. So now he's in a high security prison with a lot of contagious diseases and very dangerous people there. So that's why I said there is a correlation between the treatment of Glass and the treatment of Assange. So we should not expect anything good from Lenín Moreno.
Well, also, it would have been Rafael Correa's fate as well if Interpol had dropped arrest warrant. Correa even tweeted that out, that he'd managed to escape the same fate as Glass.
So remind us, Kathy, who Rafael Correa is.
Rafael Correa is one of our heroes. So Rafael Correa was a president of Ecuador for 10 years.
Yes.
Yes, 10 years. And my goodness, what he did for Ecuador's people. He took people out of poverty. The poverty rate just dropped. It became, a middle class grew. He also cabled the whole country for the internet, which maybe a lot of people don't know. But most remarkably, he stood up to America and gave Julian Assange asylum. With his foreign minister at the time was called Patino. I can't remember his first name, but his surname was Patino, a lovely man as well. And so, as we know, that dragged on for a long time. But finally, one of the funniest things that Correa ever said was, and this was about having American military bases in Ecuador. He said, well, yes, of course, America can put a base in Ecuador if Ecuador can put a base in America. Which everyone thought that very funny. But, he made a very strong point that, America has got bases, a couple of hundred, I think, around the world in other people's countries, right? Australia is littered with American military bases, absolutely littered. And we have Pine Gap, which is a surveillance. It's always been for satellite surveillance, spying, but also targeting of weapons. And that's a joint US-Australian facility in the middle of Australia, which our Prime Minister even is not allowed to enter. Strangely enough, it doesn't. We have lots of evidence that the Australians don't know the half of what goes on there.
Yes.
Not just there. Even there, if you read, there's a great book called The Falcon and the Snowman, and that's written by someone who worked over in America, and also there's another Australian that has been interviewed by, I think it's one of our great journalists, Mark Davis. So at the time that our Prime Minister was overthrown, Gough Whitlam, this is back in the 70s, that was, there are reports that was CIA controlled, and people from Pine Gap really didn't know as much as the people in the White House about what was going on. But anyway, just coming back to Ecuador again, one of the tragic things about Moreno's arrival is that he has admitted the American military bases to Ecuador. So, you know, and is undoing so much of the great stuff that Rafael Correa brought in. Now, this persecution of Correa is not just directed at him. Jose would be able to give you much more detail, but apparently it's most of the you know, the other parliamentarians that were in Correa's party have had travel bans imposed and are being arrested, somewhat randomly charged with corruption. Jorge Glas's charges of corruption apparently are absolutely without evidence, and yet he's in a maximum security prison now, and for 6 years, is it? Is that, Jose?
The sentence was 6 years.
6-year sentence.
Yes.
On no evidence, but you know, this is lawfare, the lawfare that is going on in Ecuador to actually silence anybody who was an actual colleague of Moreno. Remember that he was Correa's vice president, and he was elected on a platform to maintain Julian Assange's asylum for a start. And in fact, then once elected, he just proceeded to do exactly the opposite, and you know, execute the policies of the opposition instead of his own party, and persecute his whole party. You know, is lickspittle a swear word? No, it's not. I can say he's a lickspittle. Because there's something quite cowardly about all of it. Correa really had balls. and there's the wonderful episode of The World Tomorrow with Julian, and this is before Julian was granted asylum by Correa. So Correa was invited onto The World Tomorrow. So I think there's a half-hour interview between Julian and Correa, which is just fantastic to listen to. Correa also brought in a wonderful constitution, possibly one of the world's best constitutions, alongside Bolivia's, where nature, the ecosystem, was given rights. And there was also primacy there was also a law that every Ecuadorian had the right to be fed, right? So that granted a certain primacy to food production, the food chain. So that precluded mining land that was being used to produce food. But yeah, I mean, look what, you know, there's been terrible. Roger Waters was in Ecuador not so long ago and was showing the terrible pollution now.
Yes.
But I wouldn't want to go into any more detail than that, because Jose is our expert. But just recapping over, you know, the last since 2012, Correa has been absolutely. He's a wonderful man, and he still really cares about his country, and we would just hope that he can get back one day.
I'm sharing his Twitter account at the moment. He's tweeting at the moment. It's in Spanish, Jose. But he's tweeting about Jorge Glas, who was his vice president as well, right?
Yeah, just click on the translate tweet. You'll get it in English.
Yeah, it's a little small too, I know that. But...
Oh, I can see it, all right.
Oh, please, everyone, see my message about the Interpol decision. So that's very recent in the Interpol decision. So I'll see if I can see it. I'm going in blind.
That's his pinned tweet. So that was December 6th.
Oh, of course, yes.
Right.
Good point.
Yeah.
So it's quite old. He's quite an active tweeter.
Yes, we hope that that there is some way that Rafael Correa can get back in. But, you know, also Moreno managed to get a law passed that would prevent Correa from being able to come back anytime soon. I think, was it 13 years, Jose?
Rafael Correa came in 2007.
What was that?
And I remember it was May 2017.
Yes, May. It's always on May 2007.
Yeah, but
17, yes.
What was the new law about not a president not being able to sit again for another 13 years? Was that correct? After
I don't remember that, but you see, the Lenin Moreno changed that re-election of presidents of Ecuador. Before they could be re-elected, but Lenin Moreno made a change on the law using the referendum, and now presidents can no longer be re-elected in Ecuador.
No, it's not definitive. That's exactly what I was talking about. It's not forever, but it is an exceedingly long time. So, yes, but the main problem is if Correa comes back into Ecuador, Moreno still has control of the courts. He will have him arrested and put away like gloves.
Yes. In fact, yesterday, another lawsuit was added to the long list of lawsuits to Rafael Correa. Wow. And 45 his ex-government officials.
Yes.
So that one is number 16 already. Number 16 lawsuit of corruption against Correa. And of course, no evidence.
You were saying, Jose, that in Ecuador, it's very easy to get someone thrown in jail by just starting a lawsuit against them.
Yeah, do you remember that video that I posted about that person here that the police went at 5 o'clock in the morning and arrested him for an registered gun?
The rancher.
Well, yes, finally, there is another case. The government, Lenin Moreno, is removing possible contenders in the different provinces of Ecuador.
Yes.
That hold public office, like mayor or the director of buildings of construction of the whole province.
Yes.
He just removed one contender to one of his people. So he removed him out of the way from the elections.
Wow.
He removed him from office. Now, there is a document on that. So, no, they are doing that in Ecuador. Yeah, that was a definite proof that they are doing that in Ecuador. Before, we didn't have proof, but now we do. So there is a documentation where they just accuse them of, they just made up things, and they removed him. They removed the mayor of a big city in the coast because he was going to be running for mayor. Lenin Moreno had another candidate.
Yes.
That is running for the same position, but this guy, he was going to win for sure.
Yes.
So they just removed him from office.
Yes. Wow. That rancher was the same story, wasn't it?
Yeah, the same story. They removed the rancher and also another person that I know. They just on the other guy, they made an office like the IRS of the United States.
Yes.
They made a raid in his business, and it was all intimidation.
Wow.
It was all intimidation. So I want to get back to the Assange thing. On the translation I made, and this is related to Assange too. Lenin Moreno considered those 3 journalists expendable because he says that on the tape. And he says that a few or many lives, you know, are not worth the dignity of the government.
Yes,
that's what he says. So you know, there you have, you know, this guy is really he has a criminal mind, you know.
Yes.
And so that's why, you know, I fear for Assange.
For Julian Assange, yes.
Yes, and also for press, you know, he's just trying to kill him. He's hoping that he's going to get one of those contagious diseases where he will die for sure because he has an immune deficiency sickness, glass. So his body won't be able to defend against, you know, tuberculosis or any of those, you know.
So I'm going to share your Twitter account, Jose. This is, you just tweeted this out like 2 hours ago, but this photo, we've seen it before. This is you.
Yes.
And you're holding two posters. The top one is Jorge Glass, who's the vice president, former vice president, the elected vice president from last year, who was put in prison for no good reason.
Right.
And sentenced to 6 years. You've just been talking about he's been put in worse and worse places, and they're trying to kill him.
Yes, and he was on a hunger strike for 45 days.
52 days.
52 days, and close to death a number of times. And finally, his family persuaded him to terminate the hunger strike. So we can presume he's going to live if he doesn't catch one of those diseases. You know, it's a place where that is very likely to happen. You put somebody with immunity, immune deficiency in a place that is infected. But you get that sense as well that, you know, he's got the same plan for Julian.
Yeah.
Oh yes, definitely.
So you're making the connection there. Yeah.
Oh yes.
You have the poster of Jorge at the top and a poster of Julian Assange.
Right.
And the Ecuadorian flag, isn't that over his mouth?
Right, it is. It is.
That's great. That's great.
Because he's been gagged by the president from speaking or using the internet.
That's correct. Yeah, afraid of more. Probably Moreno is more frightened than anyone else of what Assange might say.
Right.
Although
that's another wonderful graphic.
That would be a good, actually. That would be a good, good thing to speculate on. Who is the most afraid of what Julian's got to say in the world today? Because I think there's a number of them. There's a number of different issues that he has been wanting to speak up on. That probably was the reason he got gagged in the first place.
Right.
And the vice president, the former vice president, he's very popular. He's like almost a national hero, isn't he?
Oh yes, now he is. Yes.
There's a photo of Jorge Glass.
You know that today we are pushing for. There is a new push or a campaign for Glass, because today the court in Brazil, the federal court, ordered the release of Lula da Silva in Brazil.
Woohoo! Yay!
Yes,
really?
Fantastic!
But remember, Bolsonaro is holding the power now, and he's such a fascist, sick guy. So they, they can just order, the judge to another judge, because that's what they do. They look for a judge that will sign whatever they want, and they can probably kind of stop his release.
Yes.
So that's a big story for this afternoon, that a federal judge ordered the release of Lula da Silva.
Very nice.
He was saying that the lawsuit that they made against Lula da Silva was legal. They could not do that. So, but we don't know. I haven't seen anything yet as to him coming out of prison. Because when Bolsonaro was a candidate, he said that he was going to make sure that Lula rots in jail.
Yes.
That's what he said.
So, Jose, good news in Brazil. Does it have an effect in Ecuador?
Yes. Yes, it does have an effect because there is a parallel, comparison because the two judicial processes are basically the same, So we are hoping to, make a change. What I'm thinking is that if Lenin goes out, resigns, probably Glass will be freed,
Yes.
Because I'm suspecting, that they put in jail Lula da Silva because he was the virtual winner of the Brazilian elections. So they knew that he would win. So they wanted Bolsonaro to be president. Now that they got it, maybe, maybe they'll let him go now because now they are in power. So they don't care.
Yes. Jose. So another big story I thought was the new vice president appointed in Ecuador.
Yes.
Is that true?
The new vice president was chosen by Lenin. He comes from the right-wing party, from the city of Guayaquil.
What's his name?
Just Otto. He has a very long German name because his father was German.
Yes.
Yes. So but that's not the end. He hasn't done a single job so far. He's been in the office for 2 weeks already. And he has not done a single job as vice president. He's doing the same thing the other vice president did, going on tourist trips around the country, eating on our behalf. And this, just about an hour ago, we just learned that the vice president that left, that resigned because of corruption, Lenín Moreno gave her another position.
Oh.
Yes, he gave her another position in government.
So Jose.
So we don't know.
So this, to explain to everyone, this is the third vice president that's just been appointed. Is that correct?
Yes.
And the second vice president was
resigned because of corruption.
Because of corruption.
Yeah, she resigned because of corruption accusations, which the documents that where she received the money in the bank account and everything, they went public. So she couldn't, she couldn't do anything. She had to resign. But now she's, Glass was sent to jail without evidence. And there is plenty of evidence against her. And she's enjoying life in another job,
Jose?
Yes.
There's a link to a Twitter in the chat, Bruce. And
so right now I'm working on a case where a judge, it's by coincidence, it's a judge that lives right across the street from me. He used to be a judge, and he was caught by the police when Correa was president. He was caught receiving money from a person because he was asking for money to approve his case. Yes. You see, so this judge was caught red-handed receiving money. So the scandal is that the person who paid the money, his lawyer, is the one who arranged the payment to my neighbor. But you see, my neighbor, the judge, he doesn't know that I know. He doesn't know that I know all his story. So now I just discovered that he went to jail for about a month. And then after he came out of jail, he came out of jail because he appealed and said, well, you know, I have immunity because I'm a judge. And the case at the court has not decided yet that I'm guilty. So you have to give me my job back. So that's what they did. Lenin Moreno gave him back to work again as a judge, even though he was caught, receiving money. So about a week ago, he had an appeal. He appealed to the court, and he received a final judgment by 3 judges in Quito, where they say that he has to go to jail. And it appears that the address that he had, his home address, it looks like the police thinks that he gave another address, living address. So he's been coming at night, late at night, hiding. And he goes right into his house, so early in the morning, he goes out hiding. And always in different cars with the glass of the car very dark, so nobody can see him.
So there's a lot of corruption going on in your country.
Oh yes. So I'm going to expose him. Believe me, I'm just not going to sit back and take it because I know Glass is innocent and he's in jail. I'm going to expose this guy. Tomorrow, I'm going to get the final evidence that I need, and I will expose him. I'm sorry for his family, but he chose the wrong path.
Yeah, be safe. Be safe, Jose.
Yes.
The message is that Julian's not safe because there's so much corruption going on, and also there's a good tweet from Rafael Correa. I'll just screen share the tweet because it talks about do you see that, Jose? This is from the former president. Yes. Whoever betrays one can betray everyone. It was just a matter of time. And I think there's a video clip here. I don't know. It's 2 minutes.
Nuestras metas económicas no vamos a incrementar los precios de la gasolina.
El gobierno nacional ha decidido reducir el subsidio de la gasolina extra y la gasolina Ecopaís.
No vamos a incrementar los precios de la gasolina,
que pasarán de $1.48 a $1.80.
Este plan.
So they made this video because Lenin Moreno before, about a few months ago, he promised that he would not increase the gasoline prices.
Yes.
But now they are showing the video where he said that. And the young guy, he's just a little young guy that they put as financial minister. He's just there to obey orders. That's all.
That guy who was speaking, this guy.
Yeah, him. Yes.
That guy.
Yeah,
But he's not the guy that you talked about who's the American, working for the Americans, so he's just a young guy.
No, I put the video on the Unity for J. The guy he made the announcement for the $50. He made the announcement for the $50 gift to the taxi drivers.
Yes.
I tweeted about that about 6 o'clock, I think,
yes.
on Unity for J. So,
yeah, so that's another betrayal of the Ecuadorian people then.
Yes, it's on almost on a daily basis that there is a scandal, scandal after scandal after scandal.
Yes.
And but this what he did with the 3 journalists is so. I mean, this is a crime. He can go to jail for that because he shouldn't have done that. But you see, the right wing. The people who put out the recording of the secret meeting at the Security Council with Lenin Moreno, you see, they are the right wing guys, and these people are from a news from a website that is funded by the United States. So it's clear that, they are putting, a lot of negative stuff. They have begun to put a lot of negative stuff about Lenin in the past few days. It's clear that they want to remove him from office. And so they want their guy, the vice president to become the president.
The new vice president.
It's very clear. Yeah. To become the new president. I mean, it's so clear. So
was Lenin?
That's what.
Was Lenin Moreno not even doing enough for the American interests?
No, because they want total control. You see, Lenin Moreno is holding a few things. He's not giving everything. So I think his trip to China was about that, because I think the United States probably, said, you're not going to get more money from us until you do this and this and this. That's why he recently went to China, and he got almost $1 billion in loans. So. So there you have it.
Jose,
yes.
Can you tell us something about the new ambassador as well? I'm quite curious about what this new ambassador is like.
Well, he's one of the oldest. He has the most experience of the ambassadors, and he's a right-wing guy, conservative, and he's from the old school. The old school is about money, power, and Christianity, right?
Yes.
This guy belongs to that school, and he's coming to, as I said, he's coming to to make trouble. That is for sure.
Yes, people are asking me to show a video from Rafael Correa, Jose, Christias, and also Fleur is another one of our moderators. So I'll just share that video with you.
Yeah, Kitty found this video. I think she retweeted it and brought it up on Saturday. So I would like to hear what Jose has to say about this.
Okay, Jose, you see the video?
Tiene que firmar. Por favor, que ellos que están afuera. No lo voy a firmar. Yo no lo voy a firmar en mi calidad. Usted no venga con ningún problema. No me diga la mía ese tipo de tonterías. Doctor, no puede ser. No me puede. Doctor, por favor, no puede tampoco una situación. Con la disposición del señor Contralor, yo no voy a decir eso. Doctor, por favor, doctor.
Yes, I know where
it's from Rafael Correa. Let's translate. Silly.
Okay. Yes, Sally. Okay. Here in Ecuador, we have the Attorney General's office, and also there is a branch of the Attorney General's office that is similar, that does corruption investigations by government officials and other people, and they have a permanent office. So it's like the Mueller, investigation of Russiagate in the United States. Yeah, this is the same guy, but it's permanent.
Yes.
Every president brings. So this guy, I'll tell you the story of this guy. When Rafael Correa left, he left we call these guys fiscal attorneys. So when Rafael Correa left, he left a fiscal attorney in place. So on the first 2-3 days that Lenín Moreno took office, the guy who had been there before, he had gone to, I think he said that he left the country because he went on a medical treatment. But actually now we know that someone told him, that Lenín Moreno was going to do a coup, because that's what Lenín Moreno did. So on the first 2-3 day of taking office, this guy, Sally, removed the other guy. He said, now I'm the fiscal attorney general, and the other, attorney is no longer in position. But you see, by constitution, he has to be elected by a body of people. He cannot just say, I'm working from now on.
Yes.
So in this video, the employees of the office were trying to make him sign it had to do with the employees of that building.
Yes.
That he had to sign that paper because they were getting, I don't know, something financial for them, for the employees.
Yes.
So he got very upset and he tore the paper apart. He tried to throw them out of the office. So that's what that's what the video is about.
Wow.
So that was a beginning. Yeah, he is the one who prepared all the paperwork for Glass lawsuit.
Wow. So the new ambassador to London has quite a history.
Yes.
And this translation, Jose, can you check that it's correct?
Oh yes, I can. It says Sally. Not only does he he does not have a legal assignment as a fiscal attorney, but he was the main assistant to the older fiscal attorney, the one that he replaced.
Yes.
So he was the right-hand man of the other attorney.
So what you're saying,
he was just waiting for him to.
So what you're saying is that
he was just waiting for him to. Yeah.
So Sealy is not. See, we thought, or I thought, that this was the ambassador, but that is not the case. That's what you're saying, right? That this is somebody else.
No.
Okay.
Right. There is no video on the new ambassador.
Oh, it's not the ambassador.
It's not the ambassador, yeah.
No, I haven't seen any video of the new ambassador. Only the video that there is, in the press. There is a video on the first interview he made about 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Probably if you put it on a YouTube, you can find, you put his name, just his name, first name and last name.
Do you want me to try?
Probably you can find.
Hold on.
I did a search on him in the WikiLeaks files, and I didn't find very much.
What's his name, Jose?
Merchan, and his first name
M-A-R-C-H-A-N, isn't it?
M-E-R-C-H-A-N, as in Nancy.
Merchan.
Yes.
I'm not seeing much on YouTube. I'm not even going to share.
Okay, let me see.
Find it.
Okay. Hold on a second. Let me see if there is a video. No. No. There is a video on him. Okay.
Yeah. Well, while you're trying to find that, I will.
It's M-A-R.
There are, yes, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Everything's in Spanish, I'm afraid. Is it Francisco Marchan?
Yes. Jaime Marchan. J-A-I-M-E.
What was the first letter?
J-A-I-M as in Mary E. Marchan. M-A-R-C-H-A-N.
Well, entrevista a Jaime Marchan?
Yes.
5 years ago. I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe you can try and find it yourself and post a link to it if you find a good one. But meanwhile, Jose, I would like to advertise some important events at the embassy, or the important event we've already talked about, which is the MPs arriving. And while we're doing that, you can take a look if you want to.
Oh, sure.
So this is a vigil call out. If you can see this vigil call out in support of Julian Assange, Thursday, 20th of December at 1 p.m. That's tomorrow at 1 p.m. And it's by Wise Up Action. I'm not sure if I lose it if I click on the link, but this is the link. You can presumably still see this. A solidarity network for Manning and Assange. I'm sort of half familiar with them, but anyway, they're calling out a vigil at 1 p.m. In view of a visit by the German parliamentarians Heike Hensel and Severin Dagdalen, who are both German members of parliament visiting the embassy, and they have permission to meet Julian Assange. And it shows the two tweets here, and I'll go to the tweets. This is the tweet. Oh, yes, this is a tweet from Heike. German MPs Heike Hensel and Sevim Dagdalin will meet Julian Assange in the Ecuadorian embassy on Thursday, 20th December, in light of reports of an imminent end to his asylum. They will give a statement outside the embassy at 13:30 and offer interviews at 1500. So that's wonderful. And see below, the first reply is from the long-time vigilist Emmy Butlin, who's a wonderful, she's been on the vigils and also the Wikibees. Says, we stand with you. So Emmy has a regular vigil from 3 to 5 on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So this is before that. It's at 1:30. But I've asked Emmy if she's going to be there earlier. We would love to have her reporting from the ground. And we are going to do, I believe, a Unity for J live stream of this important event at the embassy, the live statement from the members of parliament. So we'll tweet about that shortly, but that's very soon. That's I can't do the maths in my head at the moment, but it's like 12 hours from now or something like that. It's going to be.
Yes, it's going to be almost in exactly 12 hours time.
Oh, thank you.
So the European parliamentarians are going in to speak with Julian first, and then they will come out. And I think that they're giving it 2 hours to speak with him.
Nice.
And then they will come outside and make a speech. So not only we should be tweeting like crazy about that and getting people to go there because we want a crowd, but we also have to alert the media as well, the mainstream media. We hope that that all the cameras will be there, because I think that this statement, we know what side they're on, right? The European parliamentarians, 36 to date, that have written a letter calling to Lenin Moreno and also President Trump. Oh, sorry, is it Lenin Moreno? No, I think it might be.
Yes, yes. And Theresa May.
And Theresa May, not President Trump. Yes, it's definitely Moreno. And yeah, UK and Ecuador to just to release him, work something out. And in that beautiful letter as well to Harriet, you know, the British parliamentarian, the one from Sabine. Yeah, I mean, she puts it very eloquently. Work out a fine that has to be paid for failing to surrender to be extradited. Jesus, I mean, the whole thing is fallen to bits in Sweden. It was dropped. It was seriously dropped, permanently dropped in May 2017, a year and a half ago. For God's sake, why are they keeping an arrest warrant open in relation to that? So, you know, it's just been increasingly cruel. And we, you know, Julian's mother is saying that, and the doctors are saying that his health is in critical condition now. So I think that's the kind of content we expect to hear when they come out with first-hand observations of Julian's condition. This is going to be a very, very important moment. But from what I gather, from what I've been seeing, on our chat for the Zoom, Bjorn has something to report to us. Bjorn, you were saying that you visited the embassy on Sunday night, and you were able to show us some images and talk to about that. Talk to us about that. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, fantastic!
I was in England for a different purpose, and of course I couldn't go to London and England without making the most of the opportunity and drop by the embassy. So after everything was done and pretty late at night, I jumped onto a bus and went to the embassy.
Fantastic. So
walk
us through it.
Yeah, it was a bit funny actually, and I was kind of live discording while I was doing it. But I picked out some pictures that I can show you if I can share this.
Yes.
Let's see. I don't need to share the sound, I think. There we go. So can you see this?
Yes.
So that's one of the last things I posted before I actually got there. It's kind of funny because when I was getting close to the embassy, the compass on the on Google Maps, or the arrow actually turned around and pointed in the other direction. I kept moving. I could see on the map that I was getting closer, but the arrow turned in the other direction. I don't know why that was.
You were going the wrong way.
Yeah, some kind of message. Anyway, I got there and let's see if I can. There we are. That's
beautiful.
That's the image I got of the embassy, and you can see the scaffolding and everything going all the way up to the top. An interesting thing that you notice when you see the scaffolding and stuff, if you've seen places where they build and do work like that, other places, one thing is the scaffolding, but there's always some kind of materials and tools and stuff around because they're supposed to be working and doing something.
Yes.
Obviously, that's not the case here because it's only the scaffolding and no workers, no sign of any work being done whatsoever. Yes. That was kind of strange.
What time of night is that?
This is, I think it's around 2 o'clock at night. I don't know if you can.
Oh, there wouldn't be any workers at that time of day, would there?
No, obviously, but usually when you pass a place where this kind of work is going on, there's a pile of stuff.
Yeah, that they don't remove every day. They leave the bulk of their material on site, and they could parked it in that lane to the side.
They could, but there was nothing there. I'm getting to pictures from there actually. That's 1:53 at night. So that was after this. I think they call it the Christmas Vigil. That was on Sunday, wasn't it? Anyway, I was worried that maybe nobody would be there when I got there, but as I got, let's see if I can zoom here. Yeah, you see the guy over there?
Yeah,
that's Kieran. So he was actually there when I got there, and that was kind of nice to meet him. So let's move on to the next picture. Yeah, that's just a picture of the balcony and the sign. And here's Kieran and the lady who was there at the time. She wasn't really into what we are doing, but she was there. This is the backyard or the left side of the embassy where the chefs came out and so on. That was at the end of the alley there. And so we just took a picture there. Here's another one of the scaffolding in the embassy. And oh, I don't know who that is. So, and here's a little video. Obviously, it was kind of dark at night. But I did some panning videos. You can see Kieran in the back there. That's the entrance. So it was pretty quiet. There were a few security guards passing by now and then. Doing a good job at not looking at me or trying to just doing what they do. A couple of police cars passing by, but otherwise it was really quiet. It's mostly about just me and Kieran.
Very cold.
Nah, I came from Norway, so it was actually a bit. It was okay.
It was mild for you.
Yeah, it was fine. So here's a still from the front, and there's a funny thing if you zoom in on this picture because, okay, you have the scaffolding and so on, and there's a sign up there. And if we look at that, it says EWORT and then Special Works Limited. what kind of special works they're doing. Yeah. So that's just one more picture, and then I took a couple of pictures of these things that are mounted up there with the cables and so on. I didn't bring the laser that I talked about earlier on Discord, so I just went up to them and took a few pictures. I wasn't sure if I was going to trip an alarm or something, so but I didn't really do anything wrong. I just went around taking pictures, so I assumed it would be okay. Yeah, by the way, I didn't mention to anyone that I was going there. I was going on a business trip, and of course, in my own plans was to take the chance and go to see the embassy, but I didn't tell anyone in advance in case I was going to get any trouble in the customs.
Yeah, it was total surprise to me when you announced that. I thought, but that's not where he lives.
No, that's correct. So yeah, so I was hoping that nobody was anticipating that I was going there anyway, so I could just look around. And so I did, took some more pictures. Here's this other device. Would have loved to get a closer look at that one as well. Not sure what that one's for. Here's another one of the entrance. The other funny goal I had for going there, of course, I had a long talk with Kieran. It was really interesting to talk to him. He's been around for a while and in the anti-war, several anti-war movements. So it was really interesting to talk to him. But one of the goals I had was to get some VR photos. So I took, for instance, this one, where you can look around and see how the whole street looks. There's Kieran, by the way. He was moving when I took the picture, so
we can't see it, Bjorn.
We can't see him yet.
Maybe you have to screen share again.
Wait, sharing
Stop sharing and then share again.
Here, resume share. Bring your shared window to the front. Let's see, how can I do that? Am I sharing now?
No. Are you in a different program now, or are you in QuickTime VR or something?
No, this is just the browser. It's just Chrome.
Yeah, you need to, if you want to share all of your programs, whichever one you're using, then you need to share desktop one.
Okay, let's do that then. Then I have to go to the, let's see here. The Zoom, I need to get the Zoom. Can somebody, wait, here, now. Okay, and then I'm gonna share again and I'm gonna pick the image I was supposed to, yeah, if I choose desktop one, it's gonna show everyone, right?
Yeah, it'll show every program, but if you want to be more private about it, you could just choose, yeah, we can see him now.
Yeah,
but if you can also choose just your browser. But,
yeah, but it's fine. I closed all the other applications. So.
Good.
So let's do it. Can you see it full screen now?
Yep.
Yes, nice.
Yeah. So now you can see. Now we can actually look around here and.
That's great.
And see the whole street. So on the left side there, can you see the arrow? I pointed.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So on the left side is the alley back to Harrods.
Yeah.
That's where Kieran sleeps.
Huh? Where he sleeps? Yeah, he sleeps. I felt so sorry for him. He's actually sleeping under some sheets of plastic bags and cardboard, and he's staying there all the time. So, and on the other side is just a street over there as well. So there's no building material or anything around there, anywhere.
So Harrods is behind the embassy?
Yeah, it's up that street on the left. It's not. It's just a one-way alley, so it ends.
But that's not the main Harrods, is that? Isn't
that's the back entrance. That's the back entrance, or they probably have many back entrances. That's where the chefs came out from. So
yeah,
that's in the back.
So you can't see the front entrance from this. So that street you're on now, where you were there, The street on the right-hand side of the picture.
Yeah.
Is that where Harrods
That's just
is?
a regular. No, that's Harrods is behind this building here. So I've never been to Harrods. I had no interest in that when I was there. So but it's behind there, and it's probably it's a huge place, right? So
yes, because the other
videos
have shown it, and it's got a whole lot of bright lights on the building.
Yeah, but that's you can't see that from here. But maybe up that street you can see more. Wait a minute.
Okay.
When I was here, there's it's over there as well. Yeah, it's over there because I asked Kieran for
that was always my understanding. That was Harrods down there. But what you've got at the end of the lane is where they receive all their deliveries.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct. You know what? Of course it's over there because I asked him if there was an ATM nearby, so I can make a donation, and he pointed me in that direction, and I found one eventually. I went too far first, and then I found it. But,
so is this all residential then on this side, where the embassy front doors facing these buildings are residential?
Yeah, all these, I think it's mostly residential buildings. And as well, I'm going to switch to the next one because this one is very dark. Okay. And this one is too close, so we can't really see what's up there. But you saw on the other pictures, I don't know how many stories or how many floors it was. There was a lot of floors, and most of them are residential, I think. According to Kieran, there's even a princess living up there somewhere. So,
yeah, gee, I mean, if Julian hadn't been, condemned to stay, mainly in his room the whole time, it would have been a very nice place to live. One of the sickening things in that recent, I think it was Guardian article that starts with his fine view of Harrods.
That's ridiculous.
Talking immediately about that Julian having a great view and living in a chic neighborhood, and he can't even go to the balcony because he doesn't have access. That's as far as I know, that's the ambassador's room, and it is locked. So he's given permission to go through that room to the balcony, but otherwise Julian hasn't had a view for 6 years.
Yeah, I mean, you can see here, no matter what window he goes to over there, this is his view. So,
but he's not allowed to go to. He's not allowed to go to the room that actually has a proper view. I believe that Julian. I don't want to say too much, but I believe he doesn't have a view at all.
No. But
or maybe up high or something like that, but it's not even going onto that street where there would be a view.
But the embassy is on the first floor or on this level.
Yeah.
So of course, if he were able to, or if he went out of the embassy area and went up to the top of the building, he would get a great view. But of course, he can't do that.
That's right. Yeah.
But I thought it was funny. I actually got the police car in this 360 picture. This one was driving around past us a couple of times.
Oh, that's a marked one. That's just an ordinary police car.
Yeah.
Just patrolling the streets.
They didn't. Nobody said anything or came over or anything. They just passed by now and then.
It's more the unmarked ones you have to be careful about.
Yeah, there were a couple of those too. I actually went. There was a car that stopped for some reason at the end there.
Yeah.
Black car for some. But it was just one guy inside. But I went over there and just to get a closer look.
Good on
he
you.
looked at me. He looked at me, and then he drove on side. But it could have been anybody. Who knows? So this is how it looks, and I shared the pictures in the Discord channel. So if you have some Google Cardboard glasses or something, you can put it on, and then you can look around just as if you were there. Because I took took the whole way. So you can see my shadow there.
We can.
But you can look around and see everything.
It's really great. You know, the 360. We really get I got a better impression today of the lay of the land than from any other photo.
I was just going to show one more picture because we know what we're interested in, and I took a picture of the highlights from the news in Britain, and apparently they're not very interested in Julian. They have a lot of other things they focus on. So we should do something about that.
Well, you know, that's all tabloid. You know what sells newspapers? You know, girls in swimsuits. Page 3, I think it used to be. So, but certainly the Guardian are interested, but they're really, they're in deep shame at the moment because, you know, the big bust is that James Ball and Carol Cadwallader were you know, they were exposed as being involved with and speakers for the Integrity Initiative, which, you know, is basically a foreign interference outfit that is funded by the British Foreign Office.
Yeah,
and there are wings in a number of countries and clusters, they call them, and it seems the Spanish cluster were the ones who released all this dodgy information about Russian interference in the Catalonian issue. And the Julian, you know, then this you know, Julian is apparently, you know, being their sock puppet and retweeting what the Russians want. So in fact, you know, that was all dodgy information. But in fact, we realized that played undoubtedly a very strong role in Julian getting gagged.
Yeah. Well, I just want to add a little thing about the trip because I didn't stay there very long, maybe 1.5 hours or something. And I had to go back to Norway the next day, so I just had a meeting and then I was going back to Norway. And the trip home was a bit different because everything was smooth on the way to Britain. But when I came to the security check when I was leaving, they checked my briefcase where my computer was and so on, and made some strange faces and went over to the computer and were looking there, and apparently they found traces of explosives on my briefcase. And I'm a computer engineer. I never go anywhere near those things, so I found that pretty strange. So I had to wait, and they had to make another check and so on. And then they came back, and okay, the second test was clean, so they can find it. But
wow.
they had to send this report form with my name on it and everything, that they had found or maybe had found traces of explosives and so on. So I was, okay, did somebody notice I was going close to the embassy and they wanted to get me registered somewhere? What was this? So I don't know, but apart from that, everything was smooth on the trip. That was kind of weird.
Did you put your briefcase on the ground?
No.
No.
I may have put it down on the ground when I was outside there because I was taking pictures and so on.
Yeah.
But they were testing not on the outside of the briefcase, on the inside.
On the inside? What?
So that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Don't know about that.
How long were you detained?
No, I wasn't really detained. When I passed the first the scanner, my briefcase was automatically switched to the separate lane. So it was behind a glass wall. And then after a while, they came and checked it. They went over to the computer and looked at the screen, and so a red light came up. Yeah, that's when they came back and said, "Oh, we found traces of explosive. We have to do some more tests." What? What's going on? So yeah, I didn't
I'm sure you had
that
oh shit moment. You know. I've been in a situation like that once, and it was a complete mistake, but it was very, very traumatizing for the time that it lasted. And Jennifer Robinson had similar thing happen. You know, she was detained, I think, for a number of hours on her way to Australia.
They assured me it was completely normal and just a formality, and they just had to send this report for me.
But yeah, completely normal that you've got explosives in your bag. It's not completely normal, and in fact, you know, it's probably quite impossible. But maybe it's some material that you use as a computer engineer that was setting off the alarm. I don't know.
Not really. Not explosives. No.
Right. You probably carry Freon around with you.
No, not that either. Anyway, that's it. So I just thought I'd leave a little bit report from my trip here, and I put some more photos in the Discord and so on. So, and I have more photos and so on. But yeah, I went there, and everybody who can should.
That's right, and particularly people should think about what they can do at night. I mean, we don't want Kieran to be there every night. It's not good for his health. We need people, and Angel as well. We need people to, you know, take it in turns. Who's willing to do that one night a week? You know, we just need one person there to raise the alarm, and it is sad that it you know, it falls on just a couple of people. So we need reliable people, you know, who are willing to stay awake and alert, and be tech savvy enough to let the world know real quick if anything bad goes down in the middle of the night, which would be the most likely.
Yeah, I'll share. So Bjorn, David, one of the other mods, gave this photo from Google Street View. He says showing how close Harrods, which I presume is this, is to the embassy, which is this. It's the Ecuadorian flag.
Right. Oh my God.
No, I think you got something wrong there. It's the Colombian embassy on the right-hand side. So on the left-hand side, it's the Ecuadorian.
Oh, is this the Ecuadorian flag?
Yeah. So he wouldn't be able to see Harrods anyway.
Oh, so the picture that you saw, the entrance that you showed, is that round this side?
That's the back entrance. The front entrance is in the middle there.
The balcony that Julian has spoken from a few times in the past is on the left-hand side.
On the left-hand side, this one?
Yeah.
No. Okay. Left-hand side.
Right on the corner, where the other flag is.
Well, you're pointing at the right-hand side.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, the other left. Okay.
The other left, yeah.
Whatever left you like.
So the Colombian...
Here then, Kathy, is where he spoke from.
Yeah, no, one level down.
One level down.
Just above street level.
Just above street level, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Colombians can see Harrods, but Julian cannot.
Okay.
Yeah. Folks, I am going to have to leave now. I have an appointment in 20 minutes outside of my house, so not much time left now to get there. It's been lovely to talk to you all again, and I'll be back in tonight, my time, for the live stream from the embassy.
Yes, wonderful. Thanks very much for coming on, Kathy.
You're welcome. See you later.
See you later.
Bye.
See you.
So I think it's a good time to show some more stuff from the MPs. So I'll do another screen share. So this is where we were. The Wise Up Action is holding a vigil on the 1st at 1 p.m. tomorrow. And this is Heike Hensel Twitter account saying that they're meeting. So it's good to know that they'll get to speak for 2 hours to Julian. So it's going to be so interesting. And the other MP is Seven Dagdalen. And she's been a supporter of Julian for a long time, as I understand it. And her final tweet is again this Courage Foundation call out for the vigil in support of Julian. So at 1 p.m. So I presume that is when we will go on, is at 1 p.m. And it's really nice to see everyone like working together. Courage Foundation, who they support a lot of activists. And,
are they based in Berlin? Is that correct?
Courage Foundation?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I can click on their.
I was curious if they were behind getting these MPs to show support. I don't know if they're. I thought at one time I'd heard they were in Germany, but I could be wrong. Doesn't say.
So this is their Twitter account, and straight up the top is Free Julian Assange. A very nice graphic, actually. 6.5 years in asylum, 8 years detained without charge. 3 years since the UN ruled Assange is unlawfully and arbitrarily detained by the UK authorities and must be released. So Britain is defying the UN by saying that Julian will be arrested. And 8 months isolated from press and communications, visitors tightly restricted after US State Department pressure on Ecuador. And here's a statement from Julian Assange's legal team. The UK should not permit itself to be intimidated by the Trump administration's public threats to take down Assange.
So this is great to get 2 of the MPs in there already, to see him so soon after this letter, because I feel like that we can really build on this momentum of this letter, getting them in there to see him and actually making a statement on the stairs of the embassy is amazing, because we haven't heard from Julian in so long, or anybody at the embassy who's seen him has actually come out and spoken. So yeah, I think a lot of the calls for proof of life, or is he really in there, maybe those rumors will hopefully die down after tomorrow, after hearing what these 2 have to say after their conversation with him.
Yes. Yes, it's amazing, and we've all been trying to get the word out, haven't we, Christy? And a lot of people, including myself, that was at the last WikiBees. We were tweeting out thanking the 36 MPs, and for our efforts, we were getting shadow banned by Twitter.
Yes, so we were discussing this on Saturday. And at that time, I had not been shadow banned. And so I tried it today on my account. And I have a pretty small following on Twitter, and I have less than 300 people that follow me. I have a hard time getting any interaction with that amount of followers. So I was really curious if I would catch the eye of the algorithm of Twitter today. And I did pretty quickly. I was using different images in my tweets, but I wasn't changing the text too much.
Do you want me to share your account, your Twitter account?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So let's see, I'm trying to find it. So you're
Christy MKD84.
Gotcha. Yes. So I'll share that.
So yeah, I have, I mean, day to day, I lose 5 to 10 followers, and I might gain a few, but I have a really difficult time, and I probably have one of the smaller accounts of the Twitter team. So yeah, I'm now shadow banned. Within minutes, I took a break in between the list, and I checked, and the test came up all 4 criteria were check marked, or I didn't pass them rather. So yeah, I'm not sure how long. I think a couple other people, Lando and Paula, had said it took about 4 days before that came off their account. I'm not sure how long. We'll see how long it takes me. But we were kind of talking about everybody trying again after maybe this weekend, doing these thank you tweets, but changing up the text, maybe spreading them out a little bit more, seeing if they get caught. But the really interesting thing is that WikiLeaks and Julian's old account, Assange Defense, are also shadow banned right now. So while it might be the repetitious of so many tweets coming out, I think it's very interesting, the timing of having these other big accounts that support Julian and, you know, are tweeting off.
The other really interesting thing about the Assange Defense account is that account has been locked down for what?
Yes.
3 weeks?
Almost a month now.
Yeah. And somehow they still got shadow banned.
Right.
Well, they
hasn't been tweeting anything. Hasn't even been retweeting anything. I don't even know if anybody can get in there to do anything.
No, so it couldn't have triggered an algorithm, is my point, right?
Right.
So I think that a lot of the shadow banning is being done manually. That's my hypothesis. I don't think it is an algorithm.
Let's see. I'll see if I can. So Assange Defense, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's what Julian's old account became.
Because I think that they tweeted something, and then so there's a retweet. There's one from Quinn Peterson, who's one of the great.
Retweeted on the 14th. So, but it's been over a month for even any retweets.
Oh, so here November the 14th.
Yeah.
It's the last one they actually did. So it's true. That's a long time ago.
It's been a while, and that was a very big account, keeping us up to date on the situation and sharing. I mean, they shared WikiLeaks tweets. They shared our tweets from time to time. Yeah, that was a big one to lose.
So can I see your tweets that you did, Christy?
Yeah. So yeah, there's one. If you keep scrolling down. So yeah, I mean, I use the same hashtags, the same text, but I changed up the pictures. Just kind of this was my control to see if I could get noticed or not. And yeah, I would like to try changing it up, maybe doing a couple a day, 5 a day, or morning, night. I don't know. It was very interesting to me that it happened so quickly.
Wow.
And like I said, I don't have that many followers, and I have a very hard time getting any interaction or just, when you can view the tweet activity, really seeing people interact with it. So I do a lot of retweeting news about Julian, and I do some of my own tweets about him. So yeah, it's very interesting.
That's pretty cool, I have to say. So Christy MKD84 is a good account to follow, I would say.
Yeah. Come follow me, get me out of shadow banning.
And these are pretty nice. And I noticed, Christy, that you also shadow banned for threads. So you must have threaded them together. Is that true?
I didn't thread them together. They're all their own individual tweets. So yeah, I was going to, but I was doing it from TweetDeck, so it was just easier to do individual tweets.
So I reckon everyone should do this. Everyone who's listening, if you want to do something to help Julian, thank the MPs like we did. And you might get shadow banned, but be proud of that.
Yeah, it's a Twitter milestone, I think.
Yeah, this is 7 Doug Dillon again. It's wonderful. And
when you are shadow banned, make sure that you do a screenshot of the shadow banning and tweet it, tagging Unity for J, so that we can show your badge of honor.
Yeah. So please tag me and ask me if my account restored. That will help me if I can get more people to support Twitter and Jack to stop my shadow ban.
Oh, I think it might be like the Barbara Streisand effect, that they're trying to shut you down, and now everybody knows.
Right.
Oh, so there's a whole lot of that. So 8 hours, but so you tweeted them. These are some pretty good photos, actually.
Thanks. Yeah, now I have a whole good collection of photos to use for future tweets too.
Oh, that's cool. And people have been asking me for the list of MPs. So I'm trying to think of what the best way is to get that.
We have, there was a PDF of all of them. Like, I have that bookmarked on Twitter. And
when did you get it?
I tweeted a list on Unity for J that was in a bit longer.
Yeah, but I think that's about half of them. There were more that I found in this PDF.
Oh, okay.
And Bruce, I shared it in Discord too last week. That had the full list. I think that's where I was using both Kitty's list and I think one from Discord.
Yeah. If you'll excuse me, I'm just getting a message from Jose that his battery is low. So he can't stay very much longer. So Jose, is there anything else that you want to add?
Oh, hi there. Well, one of the today the news media published a court ruling, and the judge approved the habeas corpus to a group of prisoners in another jail in Quito that had the same conditions as the jail where Glass is.
Yes.
So there you can see that the justice system in Ecuador is being controlled by Lenin, because they deny Glass his petition for habeas corpus for the same conditions that they approved today. So, and also I caught a CNN reporter, an Ecuadorian lady. Her name is Maria Cañizares, and she's been making a campaign for a right-wing politician who is a candidate as a mayor in Quito, Ecuador. Yes. So she's been making a campaign in favor of him. So
by publishing articles.
Yes. I tweeted about that, and CNN, because she's using the same tweet that she uses for CNN.
Yes.
The same tweet account. So, there you have it. Yes.
And is she quite explicit that she's supporting him?
Yes, she is supporting him. And also the other article is the museum that disappeared with more than 11,000 luxury objects that Rafael Correa left at the presidential palace.
It disappeared.
More than 11,000 luxury effects. Nobody knows where they are, because Correa made a museum at the presidential palace so that people could see what government officials get when they travel abroad, for official visits.
Yes, we were talking about this.
Yeah, so there was, for example, there was a sword.
Yes.
with the where you put the sword. It was all made of gold.
Yes.
All made of gold with precious metals on top. So all that disappeared.
And that was given to Rafael Correa as a gift overseas, and he said, "I'm not taking this."
Yeah, well, they were given to him and his government officials.
Yes,
but he told everybody that they could not keep any gifts, including himself. So he made a museum, and he would make sales, public sales,
yes,
to sell them and the money was for the government, treasury.
Yes.
So all that has disappeared.
Huh. Wow.
So nobody knows where they are. In the place of the museum, he has put, Lenín Moreno put something else there, I saw pictures of that. The place is empty. No explanation, nothing. So there you have it. We are being ruled by a corrupt, person.
Yes.
And so, I sent you on the internal email the text of the secret recording. I sent you the translation. It's in a yellow image, so that you could see it.
Okay.
It's really terrible what he says there. I mean, the journalists were begging him to save their lives, and this guy, he was just saying, you're not, your life is not worth it.
Yes.
Because that's what he's saying. Your life is not worth it, because I need to keep, my, the image of my government.
Yes. So I'll share that tweet. This is what you're talking about, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. And that's the translation. So I'll click on the image. So, do you want to read it, Jose?
Well, yes. He said at the meeting, it is sad for all the deaths that could come after this situation, referring to the journalists that were kidnapped. I believe we are all in agreement that we cannot have a government that is cornered.
Yes.
I believe that the most fundamental dignity principle of a state, its people, its citizens, the government, and the state is worth more than a few, or several people's lives.
Yes.
With all respect to their lives, but I believe that the dignity of the state is worth more.
Yes.
I would like to beg you to give your opinion.
Yes.
He was surrounded by generals and, just the most closest government officials.
Yes.
So there you have it.
Yes.
No respect for human life at all.
Yes. So is he still overseas, Jose?
Yes, he came back 2 days ago.
Okay.
Yes, he cut his trip short.
I was wondering if he was going to stay overseas.
No, he got his. I think he planned this to. He just announced that he was coming on the 4th of January, just to use it as a media event, and just to say later, oh yeah, I'm conscious of what's happening in the country, so I'm coming back, sooner.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's he planned that,
Oh, okay. So when people talk about that the right-wing vice president might take over, what would be the time scale for
that? Well, they are saying that it could be around January or February.
Yes.
that he could call for a new election where he would not be the candidate for re-election.
Oh.
Yes, that's what the rumors say, and these rumors, have been going on for 2 weeks already or more.
Yes.
Yes. So.
So we have to be clear that they're just rumors. I normally don't like to talk too much about rumors, but how that would be worse for Julian Assange, wouldn't it? If the new right came in.
You're right. That's what I'm glad you are asking me, because if the new president, who is the vice president now, comes into power, they will evict Assange almost immediately.
Have they said that?
Well, he belongs to the same party as Ventimiglia. So the first thing they will do is take away Assange's citizenship to make it easier to evict him, you see?
Yes.
Because Ventimiglia right now is resigned as a congresswoman, and she's running for mayor's office of Quito.
And remind me about her.
Paola Ventimiglia, remember the assemblywoman who went into the National Assembly, that she was questioning the reality of Assange's citizenship.
She was famous as a beauty queen. Is that the one?
Yes. That's the one, right? So, but you see, she was just sent to say that because actually the guy who's behind that is the leader of her party, who is a right-wing guy. He's very close to the U.S.
I'm trying to find her Twitter account.
Paola Ventimiglia.
Yes, I have it. Yes. So this is her party, and she was trying to get rid of Julian Assange's citizenship, wasn't she?
Yes.
She was trying very hard to get rid of his citizenship so that he could be evicted from the embassy.
Right.
So very explicitly trying to get Julian out of the embassy. And she's the same party as the vice president.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Now you understand the rumors. Right, yeah.
All right. So
that's where the danger is.
At least it gives a few months if we're looking on the bright side.
Right, exactly.
Because if the election is called, how long does it take for the election to be held?
Well, if they it will be fast. It would be about a month.
A month, yes.
Yes. So it depends when he calls for new elections.
Yes.
So we don't know because in the polls, Lenín Moreno now with the increase in gasoline prices, the polls, he's going to go almost to zero.
Yes.
I mean, he's going to be hated so much. There is already comments on normal social media about this,
Why did he raise the gasoline prices?
Because the government was subsidizing the price. It was subsidizing a low price. Because before it was 1.48 for gasoline, the cheapest gasoline.
Yes.
Which I think, I don't know if in Australia they call it regular.
Yes.
In the United States, they call it regular, which is the cheapest gasoline.
So 148.
Yeah, to 185.
Is that the change in price again?
Yes.
Okay. Is that in dollars?
Yes, in dollars.
Dollars.
We use the dollar here in Ecuador.
Dollars per liter?
No, per gallon.
Per gallon, okay.
Yes.
Per US gallon. You know, in New Zealand, it costs that much per liter.
Oh, it's expensive, huh?
Yes. Well, the United States is cheap, and Ecuador was even cheaper, obviously.
Yes.
But how much is it, Christy, in the US? Regular gasoline.
I would say probably between $2 and $2.50.
Okay.
It varies. Every now and then it'll go under $2.
Okay.
Yeah, we also have ethanol too from corn subsidies, so that's usually the cheaper one. But then I know I don't buy diesel, but I know diesel is more expensive.
Yes. 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 Have you just posted something, a link, Christy, or is that an old link?
Yeah, so that is the list of, I believe, all of the MPs that signed the letter. I also have a picture of it, but that's the PDF. I think you posted this in Discord is where I found it.
Yes. I actually posted it to someone in private. It doesn't really matter, but
this was on the Twitter channel. So yeah, and we can
tweet it out.
Yeah, we can tweet it out too.
So I can leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Jose. There's so much happening, and you. It's wonderful to hear from you. It's never really good news from Ecuador, but there's some.
I know.
Good news from Brazil.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope they let Lula out.
Yes, but stay safe. As always, you're posting a picture because it's dangerous for you to show your face. So keep safe. That business with the judge, please keep safe on that as well.
Take care, all.
Yeah, take care, Jose.
Thanks, Jose. Okay. Good night.
Okay. Good night.
Oh, that was great to hear. Okay, so I mean, there are a couple of other things that I wanted to do today. Christy, is there anything else that you wanted to do today?
No, do we know for sure? So we're live streaming tomorrow. Then does that mean we have for sure somebody filming in front of the embassy for when the MPs come out to make a statement?
Not for sure.
Okay.
I think it has to be confirmed.
I think BB Honeybee is going to have a camera there for sure.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
Yeah. So whether she'll be live streaming or just taking pictures at the time, I don't know. But
posting later.
If we want to do a live stream, the best thing might be to contact her and see if we can figure out what the best way of streaming it through here would be. Although Rupley and places like that will probably have their own live streams, and it might just be easier to promote those.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we could have, so we could screen share Rupley, but also have all of the vigilists we can get on, particularly Emmy, I think. So I did send her a message, but it was already 11:30 in the evening when I sent it, London time.
Yeah, maybe we could interview them after the speech, after the statement. Yes. That's an idea, sure, yeah.
Or it may be that the speech is delayed, even though they're German MPs.
It'd be great to see how many people, show up at 1 p.m. and kind of get, at least some shots of them on on the live stream and see the crowd, because usually we get the nighttime crowd at the embassy, so it'd be good to get some daytime conversations. Yeah, this is the first time we've done anything apart from the vigils that ran 24 hours. This is the first time we'll be doing anything. It's what, 2 a.m. for me, so we're pretty spoiled in New Zealand. We always get good times. What time is it for you now, Christy? It's right now it's 9:45 p.m. Oh, so not crazy, yeah. So not too bad, yeah. So the statement tomorrow will be about 7:30 a.m. So not terribly early. Yes. Yeah, presuming we're setting it up, because I think you're doing the tech for that, aren't you, Kitty?
Oh, I certainly can. I don't think we made a decision, but I think we can make a decision here to do that. Why not? Yes. Oh, actually, I think Joe has already replied that he's available as well, even though it's a crazy hour in the morning. So I think Joe will be here as well. So excellent. So we're good. But yeah, the stream's running. No tech issues. I saw there was a little bit of buffering at one stage. Someone reported, Kitty, but apart from that, I think that yeah, I'm a bit slow. That's the only thing. In terms of getting the sound going and stuff like that. But that'll get faster. This is my first time doing it on my own, so. Oh, I think it's gone really smoothly. Yeah, I don't think there's really been a whole lot of issues, at least not in the YouTube chat that I've seen. I will check. As always, apologies to people that I haven't been keeping up with the comments. Have you been looking at the comments? So I'm looking at the comments now. People are talking about follow Jose on Twitter and posting his Twitter address, which is on it's on the Unity for J site. I'm sure you can see lots of those. My Twitter address is crowdvbank. And Pink Army says, we're listening to Jose Rivera speak. He does not show his face. So his screen is projected in the stream. Hold on. I'm looking at the YouTube at the moment, and it's not doing too well. It's still showing Jose. No, it's looking fine for me. Yeah, okay. Try refreshing because mine stalled out too. It's the browser sometimes. If you refresh the browser and everything works, then the problem was the browser. If you refresh it and it still doesn't work, then the problem is probably the stream. But if it's working fine for me, so it must be. Stephanie Marcelia says, I follow Jose on Twitter, but his tweets are in Spanish and I can't find the translation. That's funny because certainly I'm on the Chrome browser and you just press on the translate option. Chrome has it built in. My mobile Twitter has lost the translate button. I don't know if that's what is going on, but I can do it on the desktop with Firefox. But for some reason, my mobile Twitter app has taken off the ability to translate. Wow, and it used to have that ability, eh? Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay, Brian Crosby asks, Bruce, can someone create a list for Americans to contact their representatives since we don't have MPs? Well, we tweet every single day the democracy.io site, which where you can locate your representative and send them a letter right through the site, the website. Yes. And just if you go to Unity for J, you will see the tweets. Every day they're tweeted. Okay. Shall I search for it? Sure. Is that efficient? We tweet the list for Australia, UK, US, and Ecuador. Yes. Okay. So I'm on Unity for J website and I'll do a screen share. So this is the Unity for J Twitter account, the main one. As you can see, we're posting, people are doing live tweets of the WikiBees. Now, so
I do from Unity for J. And what's a good keyword to use, Kitty?
Democracy.io, I think, should get you there. I'm pretty sure that's the website. There you go.
Yes.
Yep, that's the US one.
So I hope that's helpful for you. Was it Brian, I think? You can contact your US representative here, and it's Democracy. I'll press on that. You will still see this, won't you? You see the screen, yeah.
Yep.
So write to your representative. So you give your street address and your city and your zip code, and something will come up. Oops! Did you see that? Oh no! It auto-completed to something. Never mind.
Be careful.
I'd better get off this. I don't want to do that. Oh, that was naughty. I do have to be careful about autocompletes. I know that. Oh, that wasn't very good.
Well, if it's any consolation to you, I couldn't read it, so I don't know about anybody else.
It's going to be on the live stream, though. Never mind. I think the baddies already know where I live, so. Okay, so I'll stop share and I go back to any more questions. Yeah, ISIS Australia said somewhere below any tweet there is a translator, but as it turns out, it's gone from mobile phones.
Chrome seems to have the best translation capabilities.
Yes.
It's good to know.
Because even if the tweet itself doesn't translate, you can actually translate the whole page using Chrome by right-clicking and selecting Translate to English, and it will just do the whole page.
Yes. So we're close to finishing. We've got about 10 minutes left. I don't know if people. I had a thought of what I would like to show, but do people have other topics they want to talk about? Otherwise, I'll do this, which is just another plug for the Pinterest.
Oh, let's do a plug for the Pinterest.
Okay. So I'll do another screen share because this is a wonderful effort, and hat tip to Fleur, who actually Fleur is in the lobby. She can answer your questions if you have any questions on it. So I just share the account.
Fleur says she would like you to check your Discord account if you can do that. She's been trying to send.
From me? Because I posted something to her. Oh, okay. So she sent me a private message. Quite a long one. I'm just trying to digest it, but I think I maybe that'll be for next time, Fleur, because I wanted to show. This is, as you can see, the screen share. This is the Pinterest board. So it's www.pinterest.nz. It's the New Zealand one. /Unity for J, digit 4/boards. So you get on Pinterest. I think you have to join Pinterest, which is quite easy. And previous times, these are all the boards. Hey, Christy, you do some of this, don't you?
So I'm trying to help Flora with some of the quotes and tagging down the sources. But I haven't dug in it too deeply. But yeah, there's been a massive amount of work done on these Pinterest boards. They're just unbelievable how many resources of videos and articles and current stuff that we tweet out is getting pinned to it. And Flor does also the quote of the day on her Twitter account, which is an awesome way.
Flor's awesome. What I'm going to do is I've already done it. I've jumped to her account. You can see her tweet, right?
Yes.
She does beautiful graphics. People wonder if she's a graphic artist, and maybe she's not actually a graphic artist in real life, but it looks like she is because I love the color schemes and everything that she uses. So this is again advertising the meeting at the embassy tomorrow. Very beautifully done. So her account is amazing. I'll see if we can find a tweet of the day.
It's really nice because Kitty and I have been starting to tweet some of Julian's older interviews or some of the Julian Assange shows that he did back in 2012, I think. And it's really handy because all of those things are linked in the Pinterest boards. So it's really convenient for us to make some really good tweets that we've discussed before about bringing Julian's word and bringing him to the forefront since he can't talk right now, and putting him out there on Twitter with all of this catalog of material from him.
And so whose account are you tweeting them from? Is it Unity for J?
Yeah, usually the Unity for J. Sometimes I do them from my own account, but yeah, we've been trying to get it to the schedule of the Unity for J as well.
Yes. Yeah, so all good accounts to follow. And so Fleur, so besides doing all of the Pinterest stuff, Fleur does wonderful graphics and tweets of the day, and her account is a really good one to follow, which is La Fleur del Sur, which means the flower underneath, isn't it? Is that right, Fleur? Referring to Southern Hemisphere? Just a very interesting account. Not all of them are about Unity for J, but she keeps up with the politics. I'll see if I'll just go through. There's one from you, Christy. Excellent. I just see if she's got one close. This is one from Emi, Greek Emi, who's one of the vigilists. So this is again another beautiful graphic. There's lots of talented people. One from Kathy. One from Unity for J. Trying to find her tweet of the day. Oh, this is one from Clara, who's another one of the vigilists. Another good account to follow, Clara Camposta one. She's been a vigilist since 2012, I think, along with Emmy, her friend. I think they're good friends, as I understand it. Today, in solidarity with Julian Assange, new ambassador arrived today, so he made sure he could see and hear us. So that's what they did. They're wonderful outside the embassy, very colourful, and I think they try to have a good time. They're doing a great service, and they try to have a good time and make it a positive, colourful atmosphere. So lots of good stuff. Tweet for the day. Oh no, it's gone. It's gone. Oh well, I couldn't find it straight away. I'll go back to the Pinterest.
She just linked it. It's in the chat, the Zoom chat, the tweet of the day.
Okay. Okay, so I will share it. Oh, I have to stop this share. And I've got it from the link. So this is Fleur's latest tweet of the day. Julian Assange, today's quote. And she always gives the details, scientific journalism of like when and where it happened. 2010, a long time ago, Oslo Freedom Forum. We are now approaching the state of Orwell's dictum that he who controls the present controls the past. He who controls internet servers controls the intellectual record of mankind. Yeah, so it's really good. People who follow this movement begin to understand what WikiLeaks is about, what they're actually doing. They're very principled, and they're working for justice through transparency.
So if you scroll down through these are all of her tweet of the day are in one thread, she said.
Oh. Okay, so I'll go back to
adding to each day to that thread, so they're easier to
find.
find.
Is that the first one? Okay.
That is.
Oh, this is November 25th.
Yeah, Flair's been hasn't been around for a little while. We're coming up to 11 o'clock now. Just to give you a heads up.
2 minutes.
Yeah, we should probably start to wrap up now.
Okay. Okay, so there it is again. Lots of tweets of the day. They're all really good, and the graphics are all really good. Fleur just does high quality stuff, full stop, I think.
Yeah, she's great. Her content is fantastic.
All right, so I just flashed the Pinterest, and then we don't really have time to go into detail. So we should be wrapping up. Are there any like final comments from YouTube or anything like that? Public domain says let it all hang out. So I don't know, they're getting a bit funky there. Paddy McGuire says thanks everyone.
Something about neural nets is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, sometimes they get off at a tangent. Isis Estrada said it's really important that Jose Rivera tweets in Spanish, since many Ecuadorians can read his opinions in support to Assange and have a criteria. Yeah, that's a very good point. Pink Army says, yes, Pinterest will link or log in with your Google email. Yeah, so it's really worthwhile, the NT4J Pinterest. Oh, I stopped the share. Yeah, and so we're getting up to the hour. So there's three of us left. And it's been another really good session. And Fleur's been in the lobby. Thanks very much, Fleur, also. So thanks, Kitty, who's done the tech as well. And thanks, Christy, for coming on. And you did a great experiment also with shadow banning. That was really good.
More to come on that. We'll see how many times we can all get shadow banned, I guess.
Ongoing experiment. Okay, any last words? Kitty?
No. Other than please be patient with me. I am new and I am learning, but I think we got through it today without too many difficulties. Next time will be even better, I hope.
Almost perfect today, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Anything else, Christy, to add?
And no, just I'm anxious to hear about the MPs, what they have to say tomorrow outside the embassy. I'm hoping this is a really big positive game changer for Julian and the movement. And so, yeah, hopefully some good news before Christmas.
Yes, and we're going to live stream that hopefully from Unity4J, and we're trying to set up someone on the ground there. We're asking all the vigilists, and so check our Twitter account, and we'll post through the details of that. It should be at 1 p.m. London time tomorrow. So in probably 11 hours from now, less than 12 hours from now. All right. So it's been another good WikiBeast, very interesting. Thanks very much for coming along, and see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.